Hello, I'm Lowell Martin and this is MCC Today. On today's show we have Brandon Dewease and Dr. Thomas Huebner. Please watch, you'll learn a lot.
Find your wings. It's more than just a hashtag.
It's the power of knowledge in our state-of-the-art classrooms.
It's skills training for a competitive job market.
It's the best nursing program in the state.
It's home runs, buzzer beaters, and the thrill of victory.
And MCC walks it up.
It's not just a hashtag. How do I know? Because I found my wings.
And we are here, we have the wonderful Mr. Brandon Dewease. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Lowell. How are you?
We're doing well, I'm doing well. You are the Director of Student Engagement.
Yes, sir.
And you have a lot on your plate.
I do, yes, sir.
And I'm just going to say to our viewers, because to get you on this show, you are technically supposed to be in a meeting at this time.
I am.
Every week at this time. Is it
right.
a Zoom meeting? Or
It is a Zoom meeting.
So is it going in your office at the moment?
It
and you
is.
Just,
I have
put
other
a cardboard cutout?
That's right. There's a picture of me sitting at the desk. The cardboard cutout is not nearly as funny or as charming.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
No, I have other staff that are covering that meeting right now.
Okay.
And as soon as you and I finish, I'll go and
He will run
they'll
back up
excuse
there.
me. Yeah. Yeah.
But we wanted you on the show today because we've got some great things happening next month.
We do. Absolutely.
Which is?
All right.
Enlighten us.
That's right. February the 2nd. That's 2/2 in the year 22.
Okay.
At 2 p.m. We're going to have our. This is
Y'all
going to
plan that?
absolutely we planned this.
Okay.
Right. 2/2
Okay.
22 at 2 p.m.
Okay.
In Workforce Development Room 171.
Okay.
We are having a Black History Month celebration.
Okay.
This is going to be an event that'll be open for our student population, but also for our community members. Anybody that wants to come and join us is welcome to. It is shaping up to be a really good day. We're excited about it.
Good. Well, who will be here?
All right. Our keynote speaker is the Honorable Judge Kenneth Dustin Markham. He is an MCC graduate. He is a respected member of our community here in Meridian. We are really excited to have Judge Markham coming. We're going to have some students that are going to share. We're going to have music. We're going to have some traditional dance. One of the things that I'm really excited about is that we're going to have a reception. Not just excited for the reception,
Right.
but there'll be some food, right? I'm really fired up
Okay.
for it. We're
Which
going to
is
have.
what usually excites us.
That's right. That's right.
The
Absolutely.
food. Okay.
But we're going to have living biographies during that reception. In each corner of the room, we're going to have student actors who have memorized a role as some famous individual from Black history. And you'll be able to walk up and have a very street performance, right? That sort of spacing. You'll be able to have this interaction with these student actors, and they're going to represent various members of that we have cast them as very special characters from Black history.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir. We're excited.
Wonderful. Now, why do you think it is so important for us to acknowledge
Sure.
Black History Month?
Absolutely.
And Black history in general. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
You know, which is not just Black, it's history.
That's right. So we are more than the sum of our parts, right? Right? We all bring to the table of life and to this institution the things that brought us to today. I had different experiences in my life that brought me to today. You had different experiences. If we can celebrate the things that bring us to now, if we can remember them well, then we can learn from them, understand each other, and move forward together. So the theme of our event on Tuesday is know the past, shape the future.
I like that.
The entire idea is that if you can understand where I come from, then maybe you can understand me, and we can move forward together into a common future, not a still separated future, not like our past was. And particularly being in the South, I think it's important that we celebrate Black history. You know, there is more to Black history. I have learned so much serving with the committee that I'm working with. I have some incredible folks around me on this committee. There's more to Black history than just the civil rights movement.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But it's an incredibly important part of the study. The civil rights movement is an incredibly important part of Black history, but that's not all there is to it. So why do I think it's important? So that we learn from it, so that we move forward together.
And I think it's very important for our students. It's very important for us to do for our students.
Absolutely.
And show them. Because how boring would the world be if we were all the same? If
Absolutely.
we all had the same background, if
That's
we all
right.
had, how boring would it be? And I think it makes us stronger
Yes, sir.
to have the different parts
Sure.
than it is, and to know that we're not all the same.
That's right.
It's not. Everyone has a different experience.
Yes, sir.
And I think that everyone brings something to the table.
They do. Absolutely.
What have you learned that surprised you, if you don't mind me asking?
We one of the things that we're going to have is we actually have hired a young lady from this community who does traditional African dance.
Okay.
And she's going to come and she's going to do a solo performance during our program on Wednesday. I'll be honest, that sentence that I said just a minute ago, that Black history involves so much more than the civil rights movement, that has been so eye-opening for me as we discussed in the meeting. The folks sitting around me on that committee, I have such an honest, open relationship. They all happen to be young ladies, right? Those women, we've had encouraging dialogue. We've had eye-opening dialogue about the plight of African American people. It has been, I would say that, Lowell, that's been the main thing, to broaden the horizon of what I think about when I think of Black history, to include not just the civil rights movement, but all of Black history, right? So it's been good.
Now, are we going to see, once she does the demonstration, will it be open to the public? And are we going to see Mr. Brandon Dewease up there dancing?
You know, I had not planned.
Excuse me.
I had not planned to dance.
Just thought, because I think a lot of people would show up.
I think, I'm not sure I think that it would move the crowd, but I don't know if it would move them into the event or send them away from the event if I were to dance.
I know what would happen if I were to dance. My kids used to say, just stop.
I understand.
Just don't do that anymore. One of the things that I noticed when I was with the Martin Luther King Commemorative Committee is trying to engage young people and get them involved in some of this.
Yes, sir.
Is this our attempt
Absolutely.
to do that? What have the young people said about this that are involved in it?
So all of our actors and some of our vocalists are all students.
Okay.
And this is an opportunity for them to, I sat in my office and I had a conversation with a young man, and he had actually been recommended to either sing or act, and he got to choose. He's chomping at the bit. He can't
Just
wait.
ready.
Absolutely.
Completely ready. I cannot wait. Now tell us the dates again and the time, because it's so important. And
2/2/22 at 2.
Will any of this be filmed and shown
Yes.
on our YouTube and our
I believe
Facebook?
that it will, yes, sir.
Okay, so if you happen not to be able to be there, though we encourage you to be there,
For sure.
it's open to the public.
Absolutely.
No cost?
No cost.
No cost. If you happen to, if you can come by, please do, 2 o'clock. And if not, though, please
Absolutely.
view it and see what we're
Absolutely.
doing,
Yes,
because I
sir.
think it's very important.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for being here, and we're going to let you get back to your meeting. If they would just hold the camera on him, you would just see a streak going out of here. But thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
here.
Lowell.
We'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we are back, and we have Dr. Thomas Huebner. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
President of Meridian Community College, and it's
Absolutely.
going on 5 years? No.
Oh no, really?
4 years?
No, it's just I've completed more than 3.5 years, so
Okay.
I'm into my 4th year, and in July it will be the end of 4 and starting 5, which is awesome.
Is it still going great? Still everything?
Absolutely.
Still happy to be here.
Absolutely. We have our challenges like anyone else, and
Mm-hmm.
but it's a wonderful place to be. We've got, as good as I thought things were when I got here in terms of our faculty and staff, I've really grown to appreciate them even more.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I was listening to a podcast this morning, a John Maxwell leadership podcast, and he was talking about creativity and ideas and culture and that sort of thing. And I immediately began to think about the different people in our institution who serve those various roles, and I thought, good grief. I mean, it's pretty amazing to work with folks who are committed and passionate about their work as the ones we work with here.
I have said that for
Including
many years.
you.
I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
have said that for many years because when I first started here, and I probably told you this, but my office, right next door to my office, was the hotel restaurant management program.
Right.
And right across was the surgical tech program.
Yeah.
And I learned so much
Right.
from those
Yeah.
people and how they did.
Yeah.
And it just, and I think the division between academic and career tech, there's really not a division. It's that you can learn so much
Right.
from everyone, and we're able to do that.
That's an interesting perspective that you shared there, because, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, back in the day, when there was really a very distinct division. But now, 4-year institutions have created transfer opportunities for career tech. The workplace is good for people who finish a university transfer 2-year degree and choose to hold off on going to the 4, or want to work while they go to school online, or something. So, I've said this for a while, the last couple of years, that those lines are really fading, and I think that's a positive, but because I think it also helps unify a campus instead of us versus them.
You can see that too
Yeah.
in the Success Center, because so often before, when you heard tutoring, and we're tutoring, that it was mainly for academic.
Right.
But we are branching, where we're having more and more of the career technical people coming to ask questions and to get help and to use our services, and which I think is a big bonus and a big plus.
I really think about this topic a lot, and one of the things that I think is that one of the reasons why the lines have kind of begun to fade is because back in the day, there used to be this idea that if you couldn't make it in college, you could go study. It's not like that anymore. We have outstanding students who are studying career technical areas. We have outstanding students, obviously, on university transfer. And it really is, I mean, some of those areas are very high tech and require lots of sophisticated understanding about technology and ideas and everything. And I still think that one of the things we're lacking in America, particularly when you read like social media or internet, boy, I'm about to get controversial, may I?
No, go ahead, please.
One of the things we're lacking is a well-roundedness about what learning means and what being educated means.
Sure.
I mean, if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it, or whatever
Definitely.
the
Yeah.
phrases are. But so that's why, in my mind, the ideas of being well-reasoned and understanding critical thinking and the complex nature of ideas and information and how it moves. And I'm an old speech and debate coach. I was, communication major and an English major, and dadgummit, the quality of your sources is still like as probably more important than it's ever been in the history of our country.
Yes.
And yet we kind of want to relegate those things. But I promise you that an employee in a what we would think of a traditionally career technical area, they have to have the critical thinking skills as much as anyone, and needs to be good citizens and good employees to be able to understand the complex nature of ideas and communication and everything. So I think it's a good thing that the kind of the wall of separation is dropping, fading, or whatever we want to say. But so I got a little soapbox there, but I think the purpose and role of education is as important, perhaps more important, than it's ever been.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember, and I think this idea pervaded education for a long time. I remember you either had like the college track where you were good at these classes, or you were in the other.
Right.
The other was, the mechanical stuff, the plumbing stuff, the automotive stuff. And I've thought about this a lot. It's like if the apocalypse were to hit, I can write an essay.
Just give me a minute.
But if you want me to fix something, I'm not going to be on the bus to be
and so
survive.
Each of us has our skills, our talents, our interests, our passions, the things that drive us and move us, and there are some people that if you give them something that's in the career technical area, that's what they wake up wanting to do and be, and others are like me, I like to write, I like to talk, I like to do all those things, But I think the best...
We like to do it. We're good at it.
Well, the best
yes, you are.
The best employee, the best America, the best country, the best Mississippi, the best Lauderdale County, Mississippi, is one where good employees are able to have understanding about complex issues and be motivated. They have to work, and even if you're a university transfer, this understanding about working hard and about commitment and management and all of that's important. And so I think it's really unfortunate that we have separated people in the past, but I think it's a good thing that we're starting slowly to just think about people and their skills and their talents and their abilities and what they could be and what they could do. And I'll even use, from my faith background, their calling, whatever it is, to help them become, what they want to be and what they can be.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that's happened recently on the campus is we went from the green alert status to our yellow alert, which basically means we need to have masks on. And I see that they're giving me the sign that we need to. If we could, we're going to take a short break and then come back and have you address what goes into making a decision like that, if you don't mind.
Yep.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we are back with Dr. Huebner. Now, before the break, I asked you about us going from green alert to yellow alert, which means we're supposed to stay masked in labs and classrooms and settings like that. And it's just to a slightly higher alert than what we were. How did you come to that decision, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, those, I wish I could say that there are like, metrics, look at the numbers or something of that nature, but really it is kind of a holistic approach where, trying to stay on top of the cases here in Lauderdale County, the impact, the impact of the particular variant we're dealing with, in this case Omicron, And so it's, I mean, it's not
It's not a casual decision that you're making.
Casual,
it's not a willy-nilly. It's like you're looking at all of this.
Right, and try and look at all the information we have, and then typically what I'll do is I will visit with my colleagues, presidents, and I will say, hey, where are you all on, the issue of whatever the topic is, and then I'll say, are you thinking about this or particular kinds of restrictions moving online or whatever, and then I'll kind of gather that information, and then I will talk with my cabinet members, my VPs, and we'll kind of talk through it and say, all right, what am I missing? We want to know what we're missing, and try to get a sense of what we believe the right decision is within the context of wherever we are, and so and then I'll say, all right, we're going to do this. Go ahead, and anybody going to be freaking out about that, and that doesn't mean that we all want to walk. We're all walking lockstep.
Right.
I'm talking about as a college, because we have a diversity of opinions and thoughts and everything about that, and I'm well aware of the arguments on both sides, and but I still have to think about the entire institution and what I think is going to be in the best interest of the entire institution based on the information I know. And so I'll make that declaration, and we're going to do this, and then I typically will communicate that to faculty and staff and students, and then we develop that system, in an attempt to try to simplify processes, and so we wouldn't have to explain everything. This is what it means. Now, we modified, sometimes we might be yellow without masks or something of that nature, and I look forward, hopefully, to moving towards, based on the numbers, moving more towards the green. And that's not just about masks, by the way.
Sure.
The mask is controversial.
Yes.
But social distancing, I think, is not unwise, no matter what. Hygiene, not unwise.
Right.
For decades,
Right.
centuries.
Right.
So
Right.
not unwise, right? So, some of that stuff is probably going to be with us a while. But I know people like to look at that mask issue. And look, I'm not a scientist, so I'm just trying to get a sense of
But
what the right decision is.
You want our students and faculty and staff to stay as safe as possible.
As possible.
And that's
Right.
that's what it boils down to. It's
Yeah.
not like it's like what's going to keep the most people as safe as we can possibly keep.
And I'm going to step out a little bit because I don't remember the exact number, but we're probably in the neighborhood of 35% of our faculty and staff have tested positive at some point. It may be a little higher than that, and so that's just the folks who have reported. So, and then, the student number is a lot harder to track. We obviously have contact tracing, but a lot more difficult to track. But we probably have, we're probably in the almost 7-8%, and it's probably significantly higher than that because of the way people just don't fill out the forms or whatever. And you can't make them. But so we're probably we're in line with national averages on things, and it's.
And we're hopeful that things will get better, and
we
get to
are.
the point where we don't have to take some of these precautions.
Right, that's right.
Now, another thing that has been happening both at the state level and national level is a drop in enrollment in community colleges. Why do you think that is?
I obviously spend a lot of time thinking about this topic. That's been true in Mississippi. It's obviously true nationally. I think over the last 2 years, community college enrollment nationally has dropped, I think, almost 15%. And that's certainly been true here as well. And so there's some interesting things that are happening. And I have, some of it is completely counterintuitive, as you can imagine. Private universities are seeing pretty much stability, or maybe even in some cases some upticks.
Okay.
And four-year institutions are seeing some growth, primarily in graduate opportunities. Most people are still struggling with first-time freshman student, but I think there are absolutely there are data that suggests that it's related to economics, socioeconomics. And so in community college, we tend to attract people. We tend to serve. Well, attract isn't the right word. We serve people who are looking for an upward mobility, a tendency to look for upward mobility. So we just have a different kind of socio-geodemographic, and so I think that data are showing that that the pandemic has particularly hit those groups of people and the ones we're more likely to serve as community colleges.
Yeah.
And so folks who have more resources are able to go on, and those institutions, many of them are dropping ACT, minimum ACT requirements. So that means that if you can afford it, you can go.
Yes.
If you can't, you're probably going to stay home. So it's an interesting dynamic, and we're all trying to see where it plays out over the next few years. But I can tell you that people not going to college will have a long-term detrimental impact on our economy, on name every factor associated with education, the value of education, and it will likely have a detrimental or negative impact on those factors. And that's we could talk a whole episode about that, but that's scary in a lot of ways.
It really is.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you. Now, I wasn't going to ask you this question. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I decided I better. I hear that the Kansas City Chiefs are in the AFC Championship. What is your opinion?
You know, it's hard to. Well, you know, I honestly, I'm embarrassed to say this a little bit, but not that embarrassed, or I wouldn't say it. Is like when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I grew up in Kansas City, and so I've been a lifelong Chiefs fan. And it's hard to explain living in a professional sports city. Like we're rabid about our teams, and so when we won the Super Bowl, I couldn't help but burst into tears, oh, it's been 50 years. So I was 4 when this happened, or whatever.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati's good. They're peaking at the right time. They beat the Chiefs in the second to the last game of the season. So we'll see. But I got to think we'll be okay.
Okay, well, good. Listen, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank
I want to
you.
have you again.
Thank you.
Always very good about coming on every semester, and we appreciate that greatly.
I enjoy it. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
On behalf of executive producer Matt Milner, media specialist Josh Taylor, and student producer Luke Yelverton, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a little bit, and we'll see you next week.